Maybe what you should do is when you're telling Peter the story and he's staring at you like you're not moving him, you just kind of up the ante. Like if you say, all my friends left me, and he's just kind of like waiting because there should be more, traumatic past stuff.
Right.
Go, and then my uncle used to come over. And then if he seems intrigued, then go down that road.
Way to censor yourself, Pat. I think she could have been like, all my friends left me.
Mm-hmm.
And she's looking and she doesn't see anything. She's like, to go to the store, and then they got hit by a bus.
Hi, hello, and welcome to another brand spanking new episode of another Bachelor podcast. My name's Dylan. I'm saddled up next to my buddy, Real Nicholas Davis.
What's going on, everybody?
Patrick, the producer. I almost took a sip. It was a terrible time to take a sip. Patrick, the producer of the podcast, is over there behind the glass.
Hi, everybody. How are you?
Nailed it.
Yeah, still a crummy time to take a sip. Nobody wants to listen to that. Okay, so were you talking to us or are you talking to the audience?
I'm talking to the audience, you dummy. I've been hanging out with you for an hour. Well, I already know how you're doing.
I think we could still check in with one another every once in a while,
Ceremony.
Yeah. All right, so we've got just a terrific episode to talk about tonight, and that leads me into a fan favorite segment. Oh, really quickly. Pat?
Yeah.
PSAs?
Oh, get some housekeeping out of the way? Is that what you're saying?
Do you have to?
Let me just say this right off the bat. I don't have an iTunes ratings and review section in this particular episode.
Great.
But I want to remind the audience right off the top, look here, you lazy fucks. So many people, tens of thousands of people are listening to this show now,
Millions,
and
yeah.
we only have 650 reviews.
It's not enough.
Right now, get your dirty little gross fingers over on that iTunes button.
Insulting them again.
No, they like it. It encourages them. People, some people work differently, Dylan, than you. They don't need to, have baby steps with every kind of direction. Yeah. Anyway, go over there right now, you lazy fucks, and click 5 stars. And you don't need to leave a written review. Just click 5 stars. It still counts.
Do you have any thoughts on this?
No.
Okay. All right. Speaking of thoughts, I need to get your thoughts on the actual show and not Pat's PSAs, which is what we're here to talk about. Not Pat's PSAs. General thoughts on the show. Nick Davis, why don't you go ahead?
Weirdly, the only 2 storylines have been just these 2 groups of girls that are going back and forth over some nonsense.
Quality.
But it's been oddly riveting. I've kind of enjoyed it. I've been titillated. Some good one-on-ones. I don't know who's going to win. I know kind of my final 4, I think. We haven't really talked about it, but I've been enjoying it. 73 knots.
Spoiler, they're all going to be white. Pat, can I have your thoughts?
It's called The Brown Ceiling. I read about it.
Did somebody write
Bachelor.
Did somebody write a think piece on that?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
I'm going to piggyback on Nick's thoughts. I agree. It's been pretty captivating. I'm shocked at my own self being entertained by one thing that I always thought I hate, which is women bitching.
Yeah. Okay. And how many knots?
4 knots.
I forgot to get your knots.
73 knots. I said it.
Oh, okay, great. I disagree.
I'm just shocked at 4 knots because
it's commonplace now. He disrespects the scale. He spits on the scale every time we come in here, so I'm kind of numb to it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, off mic, of course, he was glowing about this season.
Yeah, I know. It's like a bit he does.
To some cashes.
Fucking spits on the scale. Didn't turn my phone off. Okay, so my thoughts, my knots. I think that it just makes no goddamn sense. We've got a feud tonight between 2 people who we've seen Sydney a little bit, Alayah a little bit, but all of a sudden they just hate each other and it carries the entire episode. Makes no goddamn sense. I think it's bad TV. I think Fred Willard should just be allowed to go to sleep, Just let him rest.
One of his sadder cameos, I will say.
Let's just rest right now. 73 knots. Is that what you gave it?
Yeah. I don't know if that's ever happened.
Yeah, that is weird. We've done however many. Why are you looking at me like that?
Just because I'm going to have to get our archivist on that.
Yeah. She's been doing a good job, though.
Which one?
The archivist.
Oh.
What?
I thought you were talking about Sydney or Alayah. I thought we were moving on.
No, I was talking about the archivist, but now we need to move on to ABC's The Bachelor, Week 3, baby. Last we left off, Hannah Ann had stolen Kelsey's moment, and also her champagne. We're still dealing with this teary-eyed fallout the next morning.
If I may, Dylan, they cut to different groups of girls in their ideas of conflict resolution.
Okay.
Victoria F., who I'm growing to be a big fan of, she says, I think she's talking to Hannah, she said, hey, don't run to Peter. Work it out with Kelsey.
Don't be a rat.
Yeah, don't be a rat. We don't like rats around here.
No, nobody likes a rat.
I like that one. Natasha says, you never know when someone's going to snap, crackle, and pop on your ass. And then we cut to Alayah. Now, I haven't really known Alayah.
I think you're saying that wrong.
Alayah. No, it's going to rhyme. Alayah, no way. That's my name for her, okay?
It's forced because it's not her name. But.
Okay.
Her name is Alayah because she is Alayah.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, they cut to her, and this is the first time you get to hear her, I guess, talk. And this is what she has to say about the whole champagne gate.
The whole champagne thing was just bound to explode. I'm sure Peter's exhausted from dealing with this thing for 2 days. So, who knows how today's date might go.
Well, that was her take. That's the first time you get to meet Alayah. I've just been looking at her as someone who's not going to be there very long. And, well, what did I know?
But she was also, am I messing it up? She was the one with
we talked about it off mic. We do have a history with Alayah.
The grandma's letter.
Yeah, you called her a fraud.
I said she was a liar.
Quack and a charlatan.
Yeah, so it's like she really set the groundwork. Bachelor didn't weave that web enough for us. They didn't spend it out. But
not at all.
That could have been part of the narrative. I just pieced that one together myself.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, America wants that. We crave the kind of rich narrative that this show is capable of bringing us, but they failed at that this evening. Okay, but let's get to Victoria P. Very beautiful, very traumatized. She's very excited but concerned that Peter may not be vulnerable enough for their date to reach its full potential. You've known him for 4 days. Pump the brakes. It's insane that they talk like this. The trauma quota that we hit later is insane. It's one of the most bizarre conventions of this show.
She should have turned to all 29 girls and just been like, drop the mic, follow that, because this is like the saddest. Yeah. She's coming out of the gate. No, this is going to be tough to beat.
Yeah, Angela's Ashes, week 3. But you were saying something really funny, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to touch you again, and I'm not trying to display power or anything like that.
I fucked up the cadence. I could have made that. I could have landed on a punchline, and I just took a breath. And
what happened?
I don't know.
Well, I was going to say.
Can I say something about earlier when the girls were crying?
Yeah.
I thought it was quite diabolical of Hannah Ann to be crying in the morning.
Why is she crying?
Because she has bested Kelsey.
Yeah.
Is that her name?
Yeah,
yes.
Kelsey.
She has bested Kelsey already. Kelsey is a dead woman walking.
Right.
And but she has to keep up the charade that she was bullied because she knows Peter's going to go sniffing around and everybody's going to be like, yeah, Hannah Ann seemed pretty affected.
She's such a convincing liar. Yeah. So you're saying that she's 2 steps ahead of the game and that she's essentially just trying to twist the knife in Kelsey's gut right now by crying in front of her.
I'll say a step ahead of the game. I don't want to speak in hyperbole, but she's playing it pretty well.
Okay. So we've got to get to the date here. Peter wants to give her a tour of his hometown, which we're all very familiar with. It's Westlake, California, just on the outskirts of Los Angeles, and not Waco, Texas. You could be confused after seeing this.
Yes, you could. I had no idea there was a bunch of fucking hicks 20 minutes north of Los Angeles.
Right off the 101, baby.
Walking around in cowboy boots and I don't know, and what are those all those same shirts they wear?
I've been on that bull. I've been on that bull.
Have you?
What are the shirts called?
I don't know, cowboy shirts.
Cowboy shirts, cowboy jeans, cowboy boots, cowboy hat, cowboy horse.
The get up.
Yeah. So they do go to this general store to get boots, and I was very confused about this. And that's when I heard him say that he and his friends like to line dance. How do you guys feel about like putting a concerted amount of time into line dancing?
If I was a single guy looking at that crowd in there, it was 90% women. I'd be completely into it.
You would be into it?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think that's what the God-fearing Peter Weber's motives are when he walks into the Canyon Club?
No, I think it's more for recruiting for that goddamn cult his family's invested in.
They all sing terrifying, joyous songs at dinner. Yeah.
Pat needs to add an addendum to his How to Close Ass for Cheap book or whatever.
You're
Line dance.
Not getting the title.
Line dance.
No, it's a chapter called Location. That's in there.
What an idiot.
I'm sorry.
How stupid are you?
I'm sorry. He's going to know I did skim some chapters when you gave me the advanced copy.
Well, listen, we've talked about it before. Pat is a prolific author. He's got a lot of books available for pre-order, and Venmo him at Corolla Drinks.
I don't know if we spoke about it on this show this past season. We talked about it a lot on our other property, another Below Deck podcast, who's a quick plug. If people are confused.
Yeah, crossover. We're always trying to get that crossover going on, and you'll be happy. The other show's great if you haven't heard it. Okay, so they go to the Canyon Club. I can't believe you've never been to the Canyon Club, Mr. 200-page tome on closing ass for cheap.
Nowhere does it say drive 40 miles. Right.
Okay. Nice can crack, Pat. All right, so let's get back to Hannah Ann and Kelsey.
Back at the house.
A lot of really fun stuff is said here. There's the arbitrary outrage over being branded a bully from Kelsey. And then Hannah Ann says Finasco.
Yeah.
You know, I want to issue an apology. I came in a little hot on Hannah Ann last week, but I just can't help but say how happy I am that tonight's episode proved everything I said to be correct and everything you, Nick, said to be incorrect. She said Finasco.
So based on her mispronunciation of the word fiasco,
Yeah.
this is corroborating your theory that she is a lying...
No, that she's stupid.
Oh.
Yeah.
I would like to...
Well, then you're right.
Yeah, no, I know.
I would like to gauge her intelligence by the fact that she is a front runner in this competition.
Okay.
And squashing the competition.
She may not make hometowns.
They say competition, right?
She may not make hometowns.
Can I tell you something, though?
Seriously. Hey, I'm willing to put $10 on that.
Boom.
Done.
Done. We shook
yeah.
hands. We're on medium.
Let's get to the night date.
Oh.
Yell it.
Night date!
Here's where we meet the share your trauma to a person you don't know quota. It just churns my stomach to, no pun intended, if this is even a pun, but like just vomit up some of the most closely guarded things about their life to somebody they do not know at all in front of a fucking camera crew. This is the cringiest, most disingenuous part of the show. It's bizarre to me.
She shares her horrible childhood trauma, and I'd love to have a good laugh about it, but it truly was too tragic to do so.
Yeah.
I would like to make one observation about her past.
I disagree.
Don't make your observation.
She didn't have to eat lipstick.
Yeah. Silver linings, Victoria P.
That's the only way to get through life when it's that horrific. But I will say,
Mac makes a good product.
though it was really sad, and I mean, you could clearly see the emotion on her face, I was a little disappointed only because I knew all this. I thought we were going to get some real explicit details.
Was there blood spilt?
No, not about the father as much as the drug stories from the mom. I bet she did some whack, like the stuff that could be looked at pretty comically. Hopefully it'll unfold later this season.
My mom used
the dead
to
dad,
bang
you
her head
sicko.
into the wall.
Your dead dad, you sicko.
I'm
Dylan.
sorry,
Oh my
I
God,
thought that
we have a line, and that is
oh,
it.
fuck off. I will say, to me, it's Snooze Fest 2020. I mean, we've heard it before, and I don't want to watch it. Let's move on. It's very boring, but yes.
Got to get some TeePublic t-shirts going and hashtag SnoozeFest. We got to fucking copyright
I like it.
sooner than later.
I like it. Look out for our t-shirts. Pat, you had a very cogent point to make here because Peter once again speaks about the power of divinity and bringing people together.
Well, let's listen to the clip and then I'll break it down. So she basically lays it on the line, tells him she's really into him. I don't know. I'm paraphrasing. And then this is his response to that.
Who knows if the stars are lying for us. A couple days before all this started.
God, that's still hot. All these are different volumes here. Nick, are you feeling that's too hot too?
Yeah, I didn't have them on. I could hear it pretty well.
Here we go.
Who knows if the stars are lying for us. A couple days before all this started, I just had a really special moment where I felt like I just knew this was gonna work. I just started like talking to God, and I just was like, I don't know where she is, but watch over her. And the second that I said that, a shooting star went across the sky, and she could be here right now, sitting next to me.
Now he's doing this thing, if you'll notice, which is his response when women are just throwing it completely at him, speaking directly to him as the focus of their love or attention. He then launches into this generality.
I like the little church you put on that word.
Well, it's basically, I know she's out there.
Yeah.
I talked to God about her.
Yeah.
And I knew my journey to find her.
Right.
Was going to happen.
Yeah.
And then he's staring at the girl directly in the eyes. And I wonder if they're completely broken by this.
Yeah, it's very heavy and very broad.
But do you know how attractive it is to someone who's had her horrific past? Someone who thinks I was made for them.
Right.
They're kind of a good couple.
Oh yeah, I think she'll make it to Homedowns. Very traumatized. Very traumatized.
But I will say, I think this was actually earlier in the night when she was dancing with Peter. She was like, I feel like the luckiest girl in the world when I'm dancing with Peter. It's nice to know she's got a short memory because
there's so much I'm not worthy talk. It's almost comical. It's like a fucking Best in Show character that just keeps saying that she's not worthy of happiness. Very traumatized. Very, very sad.
I once won in one summer at 2 different basketball camps a bike and then a PlayStation.
Yeah.
That's lucky.
That's really lucky.
The father not make it past 5 years old of your life or whatever.
Not lucky.
Not lucky.
Not lucky. Okay, so let's get back to the house. I just want to say great job from producers dropping in this random tension between Sydney and a girl who we've seen essentially just a limo exit and then the letter reading from. Pat, back to the house. We got a group date card. You know what that means.
Oh, you want a roll call?
Yeah, please.
All right, here's a roll call of the girls that are going on the group date. Here we go. Sarah, Tammy, Kelly, Cheyenne. It's moisture. Savannah, Sydney, and Alayah. Hey, Peter, stay away. She's nuts.
Just such liberties with her name. But you're a little confused about the moisture. Cheyenne has incredibly dry hair.
No,
as
I know.
Paz noted.
I was more confused by the approach of playing a random sound and then just saying moisture and then backing off mic. It was confusing to me.
Okay, fair enough. I'm glad.
I think that's fair enough.
I'm glad we're on the same page about her very, very dry hair.
Yeah, we're all on the same page.
I didn't know where it happened chronologically, so I'm just going to say it now. One time they were sitting by a fire and her hair looked incredibly dry, and there was a big clump that was just getting dangerously close.
Yeah.
Good luck to her this season.
So, the next morning, I don't know why the producers, and this is probably a giant charade, as you would say, but I don't know why ex-contestants are designing dates. It's bizarre. They're just coming in to do the heavy lifting. And Demi and her two friends, Champagne and Killer, do show up the next morning. I don't know why Demi is calling herself a queen, and I don't know why anyone else is referring to Demi as a queen.
She soured on me. On a serious note, I was in love with her.
Well, you found out she was gay.
No.
Yeah?
She's bisexual, dude.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
Still hopeful.
I don't think that's the reason.
Well, no. I don't like her because she's an attention whore. She's actually really unlikable. She's pretty manipulative. And I just don't like her here.
Yeah.
But what a narcissist walking there saying, I'm here, bitches.
It's overexposure. It's so hard to know when to hang up the boots, but you have to see it on the walls. And at her young age, with not enough fame, I don't think it's going to go well.
She needs to get something replicable that she's getting. I don't know if she's got the chops for a podcast, but a YouTube channel or something.
Yeah.
Because these are going to dry out. I will say it's interesting. Very impressive. Aya Canetti-esque for someone who's never been the lead to be in 4 seasons in a row now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I like that you're, many years ago, you'd never seen the show, right? And now you're just referring to ex-contestants by their last name and turning it into an adjective as though, like, we're talking.
I really dive into whatever I do.
Unbelievable commitment.
Shout out I Don't Get It Facebook group. The most wholesome one of all the Bachelor contestant groups.
The bags arrive for the women. They all have names on them, and they all have a different piece of clothing in it.
And inside of it was like a cute pajama lingerie set.
Too easy, Bachelor producers. Too easy. Why would they leave that in?
To make memes.
Oh.
Yeah. At her expense. If I said lingerie, I'd want you guys to cut it out of the podcast,
It's crazy that she's only read that word, evidently. Like,
lingerie?
Yeah, how do you make that mistake? You hear people say lingerie, I feel like. What is she reading smut books?
Hot take. I was wondering why the Bachelor producers would put this in here, leave this in here. It's for water cooler talk the next morning. Can you believe she pronounced that like that?
Now, hang on a second. I've come with some pretty ice cold takes.
Oh boy.
That was an ice cold take.
Okay, all right, I have another take.
The reason why they left it in there is for water talk. Water cooler talk.
Antiquated term.
Antiquated term.
He doesn't.
First off,
he doesn't know about open floor plan office spaces and people bringing in hydro flasks.
Exactly. You ever heard of WeWork?
This motherfucker wants to just throw away plastic cups every 5 minutes.
Patrick is the most single-use person I know.
But the point stands, Patrick, because I'm agreeing with you, though it's very insulting. I think they left it in because they knew, like you said, memes. That's the more relevant term.
I know.
You guys are saying the same thing.
I already said
different
it, though.
generation.
We need to move on.
Pillow fight at the saloon?
So we've got an abrupt cut, and Peter's just in the bus with him. Usually there's like an excited entrance in and then a departure, but he's just in the bus.
I know why they did that.
Why is that?
More gratuitous shots of the ladies half naked.
You think so?
Yeah.
They wanted to cool it on that?
Yeah.
Okay.
But they're like, it's just random. We put one in a moo-moo. See, that's not sexy.
Yeah. Are they going to do they go to the same store?
I believe they went to the same saloon. Why not? Why not utilize? You got it for the whole day.
And in this moment, I recognized it as the same place they mud wrestled seasons earlier.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Maybe we've got some contractual stuff going on here.
Or just a very friendly bar that is happy with the agreement they got going on.
Carol's the general manager. Hey, Bachelor, just call us back when you need us.
We can put a ring in the middle of the floor anytime you need it. Sounds like a very versatile place. Okay, so they walk in, once again, Champagne and Killer. I mean, they're just going at it. To kind of show everybody what's going to happen when you step into Demi's Extreme Pillow Fight Club. Now, they brought Fred Willard out of hospice to continue the tradition of Fred Willard. As I said before, I don't think this pony needs to run anymore.
I don't know if it's an indicator of how long we've been doing this show or how rapidly your health can deteriorate. But I used to long for Fred Willard appearances, and now I am very, once again, sad when I see these.
Because they used to, at one point, at some time in the past, fill us with joy. And now we watch them, and we're filled with darkness and really just down in the dumps because Fred's in Pat's death pool.
Hey, Nick, to your point, once an old person, they fall down the bathtub, break a hip, the day before they would have been fine, right? Oh, that downward slope, very quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very quick.
Double black diamond, that slope is. Very steep. Lots of moguls. Okay, so do we have any highlights from this? Tammy was way too Tammy again, but aside from that,
just the lack of objectivity in the rules, it appeared to me.
I mean, Nick, when I saw that, I knew you were going to be irate. Because the manner in which these girls are crowned, it's completely arbitrary.
This is not fucking Janice Dickinson and a looks competition.
Right.
All right. This is
no personality competition.
Yeah. What gold jacket, green jacket. This was in a ring.
Yeah.
I want my combat sports. I needed some rule sets.
Yeah.
And you guys know how much I love games. Imagine just playing checkers and you could just go arbitrary amount of spaces.
Yeah. After a while,
And you were
you'd be
hit
like,
someone with a pillow.
Yeah.
That's not checkers at all.
And then someone from the outside gets to evaluate who won.
Yeah. And the people that do win are Alayah and Sydney. Now, Alayah, after just clearly winning the fight,
Exhibit A
is crowned the queen of the bedroom. Now, Sydney is not happy. First, she says that an elephant laid on me, which is very hateful. It's a very mean thing to say, especially about another young woman.
She won't forget.
Nice.
Sydney also in this equation calls herself a rat too, which not kind of either one of them. She says it's like an elephant laying on a rat.
That makes no sense.
Bad on both sides. But I am confused by the fervent dislike she has for this girl. You'll hear in this clip, she's speaking in very heavy and serious tones about her hatred for this girl she doesn't know. Pat.
With Alayah, I could tell something's off about that girl. Just her actions since we've been here kind of just, makes you go sideways a little bit. Group date, group date, group date. Shh, shh, shh. She is not the type of girl I surround myself with. She's the type of girl that I've always avoided.
Bookie character makes you go sideways.
Go for it.
All right, Dylan. You're wondering you think that's coming out of left field. But if you really watch The Bachelor, as Nick and I do, okay, under a microscope, you would have caught that they set this up with exposition of shots of Alayah really annoying everybody in the house, whether it be a bottle of wine she's chugging, wearing Nick's hat around the house. She's really starting to do things that are annoying the other girls.
Right. And
she's an attention whore.
It's a foolish point I'm making because later in the episode, she's backed up by a group of witnesses who have seen Alayah be Alayah, who ultimately is a strange, seven-faced person. But at this point,
I know there's going to be a fight later on with you two. I disagree.
At this point, I will say Sydney is very aggressive. I mean, she may be correct about what she's sniffing out, but she's rather aggressive. She asks her, "Do you work?"
One thing I didn't catch with this, and call me stupid, did 5 of these girls list their current occupation as former beauty pageant contestants? I mean, there's multiple Miss America contestants. I hope this, by the way, side note, I hope this isn't a thing with casting in the future. I don't need them going to the pageant industry to get this same type of girl that needs attention. There's 3 or 4 girls here that are exactly the same, their personalities.
I was thinking the exact same thing. I was confused. I know there were only 30 girls there to start with, but it seemed like there are 100 former victims of the pageant industry on this show right now.
The writing is on the wall, fellas. You can't see what the producers are doing, the Svengalis.
Yeah.
What does the pageant industry lead to?
Yeah.
Unbalanced, crazy women.
Right.
And what makes better television than unbalanced, crazy women? Exhibit A, us loving this season.
It's like finding a mirage, but it's real when you're stranded in the desert. You just stay there and you keep sucking it dry.
They were able to.
Why leave?
They were able to Hannah this power of crazy with Hannah B, and they're trying to replicate it.
Yeah.
It worked out really well for them.
All right. Well, we've got to get to the night date.
Night date!
Alayah gets pulled first, and immediately starts launching into her abandonment issues with a terrifying smile and a stuck face. Sydney, she is very right about Alayah, but still way too intense. You're 24 years old. You're a child. Calm down.
I can kind of feel that Peter's not buying it because when the other ladies lay out their childhood trauma, he has a different reaction. With this one, he kind of just stares at her and then he throws out some generic platitudes. I see something growing with us, and you have a lot of positive energy, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I think he's yucked out by her.
Yeah, he's feeling it.
Yeah.
I try to watch this with a careful eye. But what were her specific issues? I missed this.
Her friends abandoned her.
Her band. She said that like people just like, she's a people repellent. People just run away from her wherever she goes. Probably
It's a fucking energy vampire or whatever they call you. It's all about her when she's around her friends.
All right, Tom.
I know why I didn't remember, because it doesn't hold a fucking candle to Victoria Peace.
Yeah, that's
right?
true. Yeah, you're right.
I didn't even remember it.
Yeah. Wake me up.
Oh, you annoyed people away from you?
Yeah. I don't get out of bed for less than Victoria P.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, what are they doing?
Yeah. Nobody. This is why you don't.
This is why Van Halen doesn't come out first and then put out some schmuck.
This is why you kind of have to. You can't. It's the 46th law of power. Okay, show them gradual amounts of your potential. Don't drop it all at once.
I really hope you're not lying to the audience about the specific.
No,
okay.
no.
No. I apologize.
Hey, fuck you.
Yeah, you're right.
Hey guys, you have me rethinking how to play this. I never, I have a class, an online class, which I'll plug later, but I basically teach people how to win the game or come in second place for this. Maybe what you should do is when you're telling Peter the story and he's staring at you, like you're not moving him, you just kind of up the ante. Like if you say, all my friends left me, and he's just kind of like waiting because there should be more, traumatic past stuff.
Right.
Go, and then my uncle used to come over. And then if he seems intrigued, then go down that road.
Way to censor yourself, Pat. I think she could have been like, all my friends left me. Mm-hmm. And she's looking and she doesn't see anything. She's like, to go to the store, and then they got hit by a bus.
Exactly.
Gonna go with. So